Doing anything between something small like this or a big platter. So once you have this technique down, you can pretty much throw any kind of plate you want to. So I'm just going to kind of flatten a disc of clay using the heel of my hand, kind of have more of a low pot in the middle and thicker at the sides. And that's, it really doesn't really matter for this, what we're doing, but I think it's a good technique to start getting in hand for when you want to do a set of plates. So I want to bring this out to about 6 inches. So now I'm going to go compress with a hard rib before I do anything else, and this is mainly to help give a shape to the plate. So I'm going to make it a little bit more shallow in the middle and then go thicker to the edges. And so it's doing two things. It's compressing the clay so you don't get a crack in it, and then it's starting to shape your bowl, or not your bowl, your plate, so that it's starting to shape your plate so that you kind of have a lower part in the middle and it's higher at the edges. And so this is going to be the spoon rest. So I'm just going to come out here now that I've got my kind of shape for my plate. And I'm going to stick my finger underneath here, right at the bottom of the, where it's touching the bat, and I'm just going to push in. See how it's starting to raise the wall? And now I kind of have a plate going. So I want to have a little bit taller wall, so I'm going to come back in and just pull the wall up a little bit. And then I come back over with my sponge and refine the edge. You could also just put your 2 fingers here and 1 finger here. And I want to have about 1 inch of a lip for my spoon rest. So I'm just going to come back in here and just do another little pull. And then I'll check the width, and it's 6 inches, which is what I want it to be. And I'll just refine the edge. And I'm just going to put this rib in here, underneath here, and I'm going to bring this rib, and I'm just going to push, do almost like a pull with the 2 of those rib to rib. And that's just creating a nice little curve. And then I'm going to come back in here and just refine my edge, and you can do that with a chamois. I'm doing it with a sponge kind of pushed over, or you can do it with a piece of plastic. And then I'll just smooth out that, get any water out, and now I'm going to get my fingers wet, and I'm going to put 2 fingers on the edge right here, and then I'm going to put 2 fingers right here, and I'm just going to smooth them out to create the place for the spoon and handle to go. And then just wire it off, and then if we want to, we can trim it. Okay, so this is the second plate we're throwing for the beginning class, and this is going to be a garlic grater where you can put grate your garlic and then put some balsamic vinegar and some oil and herbs if you want to, and bread for like an appetizer plate. So I'm just going to center this. And then I'm just going to bring it down. I'm going to flatten this out to 6 inches, and again I want to have that plate shape, so I'm going to start with my heel in the middle and bring it out. And I'm keeping my finger on the outside of the bowl right here, and it's just kind of holding it in place, the rim in place. And I like to do that whether I'm throwing a platter or something small like this. So let me measure it. So right at 6 inches. First of all, I'm gonna compress it so we can get rid of, compress the clay so we don't get any cracks, and I can make it a little bit thinner in the middle and a little bit thicker at the edge. If you notice, I'm not holding my rib I'm not holding my rib straight up because it'll dig into the clay. I'm holding it at an angle. And I'm just pushing from the middle out and then going back in and then lifting off. Now I'm going to put my sponge down here at the edge of my bat. It's all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to have my fingers in here. I'm just going to get a little bit slippery. And I'm just going to guide it up. And then I'm just going to do a pull. And smooth that out. And then I want the rim of this to be about 1 inch as well. And I'm just going to get any excess water out. I'm going to smooth the edge. And so you can just use a scoring tool to create the sharp edges so that you'll be able to grate your garlic. So I'm just going to hold this scoring tool at an angle, and I'm just going to make kind of a spirograph. And now I've got a rough edge for when we're going to grate the garlic. And then I'll just undercut this, and we'll wire it off, and then we'll trim this.